From the biggest moments.
Can you believe it?
To gold medal championships.
Sidney Crosby, the golden goal!
It's your update on Canada's game. You're listening to the True North Ice podcast with Jacob Ewing and Caleb Schneider.
Hello and welcome back to the True North Ice podcast, where we talk all things Hockey Canada and everything Canadian hockey related. As always, we're your hosts. My name's Jacob Ewing, joined alongside Caleb Schneider. Caleb, fun episode today. Won't disclose the details quite yet, but I'll start with another question. How are we doing today?
Another day, another podcast. That's what we say. You know what? This one was a fun one to do. Late night last night working, putting this all together, but I'm excited. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Doing really good. And a fresh Tuesday morning. The weather's starting to flip around from the coldness. Stepped outside to come to the booth, and like all of a sudden it's like nice outside. Like I wasn't, normally I'm a warm guy, I like the cold, but if it's like a little too frisky, it kind of gets to me. But I got outside, it was comfortable. It was comfortable outside today.
You're supposed to be high of 14 and 15 this weekend.
I know, it's insane.
And the good old Toronto. So it's vibes are, hockey season's ending, but weather's getting better. I mean, it's hard to complain, but yeah, we're wrapping up the hockey season. But I'm excited. Do you wanna hit us with the topic today?
I do. Today we are doing a Women's Olympics 2030 projection for the roster. We're looking into the future. We're breaking down everything we've said over the past couple weeks about how this team is not in a good state. It needs to change. And while there will be a lot of change over the next 4 years, and in these next hour and a half to 2 hours with Caleb Schneider, Jacob Ewing, we're breaking everything down, Caleb. And, I know you especially have been very predominant on the fact that this team needs to get younger. And I'm interested to find out how many returning players you have on this team.
Yeah, it's actually surprising. Not a lot.
That's not surprising at all
not
to me.
Surprising at all. I don't know what I was thinking there about surprising or not. No, they're. I think we've been saying it for a long time. They need to change the ways of how they create this roster and the personnel on this roster.
Yeah.
And yet there's still, I have some players that make interesting cases to make it in 4 years from now, but I don't have them on. Just the age they were come this Olympics and how they performed. They just, in the end, I think projections wise, and a lot of these, almost every single player that isn't on my team that wasn't on the team last year, sorry, I'm screwing up my words here. Whoever wasn't on the 2026 roster that I have now on the 2030 roster, all of them are in the NCAA right now or are about to hit the NCAA. So they're going to have that 3 or 4 years of good, like just the play of NCAA is fast, it's stronger, it's competitive, and it's just a big jump for all these players competitively. And honestly, I know people haven't made this argument yet, but the NCAA on the women's side at least allows these players to open up their game a lot more, which allows them to play Olympic hockey and beat the other opponent, aka USA, it feels like. So I think the NCAA really benefits when you play against a Team USA who is star-studded as well. So that's kind of, I think we didn't have any NCAA players, so kind of screws us up in the 2026, and we only lost by 1 goal though. So
okay, I want you to take this time and count up how many returning players you have back.
Okay,
I will tell you right now, and this might be actually a decent amount.
Okay,
I have 15
Holy
players
cow.
returning. Yes.
Yeah, that is a lot.
I know.
That is
It's
a lot.
actually shocked me how many I have returning.
How many are goalies?
2 of them are goalies.
Okay, so I have 8 skaters coming back and 2 goalies. I went cutthroat. So I have 10 altogether.
Yeah. I have, 2 goalies and the 13 skaters.
Do you want me to run down some things here?
Sure.
On my roster specifically.
Yeah.
So we all know the 2026 USA roster featured 7 NCAA players. My roster will feature potentially 8 when they're in that 2030 year.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
It depends. Yeah, sure.
Do you think that it's just because of the narrative that these are NCAA players and they're fast and they're exciting and that it makes you in your head want to choose them, but maybe going the PWHL professional route once these current NCAA players get drafted. Obviously, there's 4 years, so they'll have a couple seasons in the PW. Just maybe the fact that these are fun, exciting. I know you're a big, college sports
it's
type
still
of guy.
all projections.
Yeah, okay.
But come on, man. USA 7 NCAA players, all those players are under 23 or younger. There might have been a 24-year-old. And obviously the other thing with the 8, potentially 8, it depends whether you declare for the draft. I did this basically if you're 23, if you're the age of 23 or younger, I'm assuming you're still going to be in the NCAA. That's when most people commit to the draft, when they're the age 23. They commit to the PWHL draft. So that's why I say potentially 8. There could be freaking 5. You don't know. It
if they're
depends what
19 right now, they will probably be in their senior year of college when the next Olympics roll around.
What do you mean? No. If they're 19, they'll be like in one of their first years, like a junior year
Of college?
Yeah.
If they're 19 years old right now. You are 19 years old.
Oh, no,
right
sorry.
now,
Sorry. If you're saying, I thought you meant when they are. No. When they're 19, 4 years from now, yes, they're probably in their last year.
Yes.
Yes. They're turning 23 or 20, they're turning 22, 23, 24 by this time in 4 years from now.
Yes.
Which means that's around the time where they commit.
To get drafted.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I think the age, you can get drafted anywhere from age 20, but most of these players don't commit until they're like 22, 23, until they get their 4 or 5 years of college done. Right.
Yeah. Get an education.
Yeah.
That's what they need right now.
Or they play in a better league that helps their development and is a much faster paced game and is not as I don't know, the PWHL feels very, I don't know, low scoring, high defense, great goaltending.
Yeah, but you think if these players committed to the PWHL, it would create more revenue, become a better league, and maybe they wouldn't need to spend these 4 or 5 years securing. First of all, college education is great, but you don't see NHL players staying 4 years in college to get an education because they're having a fear that they won't make enough money in their career to live the rest of their life.
Well, yeah, no kidding. But PWHL right now is.
But if all these players come over to the PWHL, all of a sudden the viewership goes up, the revenue goes up, and the money goes up for everybody in the league.
Sure, that's exactly what it is. Yes, it's exactly what it is. But right now, in the NCAA, it's still more sustainable. Like, look at every top tier player from both these national teams, USA and Canada. They both have been very successful in the NCAA, and it turns out they're very successful on these national teams. Like, you look at every single player on USA's and the USA.
That's just
team.
a case, though. You just said
every single one.
Every player has been successful in the NCAA. Okay, every
no.
NHL player was successful.
I'm saying
in junior.
every player that was in the NCAA.
Yes.
On USA's team had a very important role on their gold medal team that just won. And I think the fact that these players, we're looking at the top tier players from anywhere from ages. I snubbed a 16-year-old today.
Jeez.
Like, you look at anyone, but you look from 16-year-olds to, 20, 22-year-olds right now. All these players are going to the NCAA, and they most likely, if they do make this national team, they're going to have a role, just like the USA. You go down the list. You go down and look at, like, Joy Dunn, who's probably the weakest out of those 7 NCAA players. She was a PK1. She scored a big goal in the semifinal, or the first USA-Canada game. So they all have roles, and, like, that's just why I think the NCAA is a big factor. Why?
Yeah.
So the game is so opened up, and the depth on every team is much, much lower, which allows it to open up. And then you have 2 games every World Championship and Olympics. You're going to find a way, I think, to just have more offensive prowess and skill.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, and then here's my other numbers here. I have on my roster, 2030 roster, I have 11 26-year-olds or younger. USA had 12 in this 2026 Olympics, and Canada had 7.
Yeah, that's a big issue.
Yeah, and then 36 or older, across the board, they all had 1. I have 1 36-year-old player or older, and Canada did in this 2026 roster, and USA did in their 2026 roster. So,
okay. Yeah. All right, so how would you like to start this? Would you like to go line by line, or would you even like to maybe name a captain to this team and maybe disclose who that is before We get into
Ooh.
that. We've never done that before, but
Do you want so we just blow one player right off the bat?
yeah. I think this will be.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, this will also
I'm fine
be
with that.
a big showing. Is if you have Marie-Philippe Poulin
Okay.
on this team at what age? She's 36 right now.
No, she's 34.
Oh, she's only 34 years old. She'll
Yeah.
be 38. Even better. Okay.
So name your captain on this team.
Okay. Well, my captain of the 2030 Team Canada Olympic roster will be Marie-Philippe Poulin. I have her
kidding.
coming back in 4 years. I hope you do as well.
My captain for this 2030 team is, of course, Marie-Philippe Poulin.
Okay.
I'm curious where we did lines for this. I'm curious where you have her slotted in. That would be more. I think I'm more interested in that. But I think we both, especially me knowing you, I knew you were going to have her on. And
Yeah. I mean, she's
it's
the best.
hard.
She's
It's
the best
hard
player
to
in the world.
yeah,
4
it's,
years
it's
out.
hard to
like,
cut. It's hard to cut her. So
She's the best player in the world 4 years out. So it really is. And I think she'll still be productive in 4 years. So
Oh yeah, she can do anything and be productive. I think she could be on the penalty kill at that point.
probably. Okay. Would you like to do the forwards, the goalies, or the defensemen first?
Let's do it. I think the forward core is the most interesting, so let's save them for last.
Okay.
I want to do. I think the goalies is a very short conversation, in my opinion. Unless you could have somebody that
No, we can do the goalies. I
Yeah.
don't think.
you go goalies here.
All right. So I'm gonna start with. So we both had 2 returning goalies back on
Yeah.
this team from 2026. We'll see if we have the same ones because we might not as well. But my first one is Anne-Renee Desbiens.
Okay,
And do you have her as well?
I do.
Okay. I figured so. And so that leaves Kaylee Osborne and Emmerich Smashmeyer, the 2 goalies that were also on the 2026 team, and we both took one of them. And I went with Kaylee Osborne.
Okay, well we are in the same boat
All
so
right.
far.
And I think we both have the same third goalie as well, because
Okay.
it's pretty obvious that when she gets an opportunity to already play for the national team, and
Yes,
she's
we do.
very young, it's Eve Gasson.
Yeah.
And so we both have her. Our goalies are the exact same. Look at that.
Okay, that's. I was curious where you'd go with the third goalie. I think Mashmeyer. I think her time's kind of done. I mean, she played that quarterfinal game and that was about it. But I think the age is going to get to her. She's 32. She'll be 36. I didn't even bother putting her on the snubs list. I figured you wouldn't have her on your list either.
Yeah.
The only goalie that I could pick out from college as a snub for my team at least is Hannah Murphy of the Seattle Torrent. So actually, she's not even in college. She just finished. She's in her first year of the PWHL.
Yeah.
She's got a .918 save percentage. She's only 22 years old. 22 years old, I think, is telling a little bit. It's interesting, but unbelievable numbers at college. But I give the edge to Gascon, who is got way more experience at this point. She was in a rivalry series game, right? So,
Yeah. Well, goalies are a short list. You only get to take 3.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
And these 3 have already got plenty of opportunities for 2 of them, or one of them, Anne-Renee Desbiens, and then Kaylee Osborne seems to be, the direction they're going with PWHL goalie wise. So she'll get a lot of looks in the close in the future. And that will just lead up to the 2030 Olympics. And Eve Gasson just she's already got a look. She's already in the system. No one's really stopping her. She's really good too. So easy. Okay, let's move to the defenders. And I think this will be interesting.
Okay.
Maybe. Not as interesting as the forwards, but still fun. Because
how many returning players do you have?
I have 5.
Okay, it's gonna be interesting then.
Okay. Context. We did rate this decor still the best in the world going into the Olympics.
That's a good point.
It was the forwards that were our main issue that we
Yeah.
talked about. The defenders, we disclosed that they are still top level, and we had faith in them. And I don't think they had a terrible tournament. Some of them, maybe more than others.
I think USA's decor was clearly the better decor after
Yeah.
the tournament. But I 100%. I was definitely saying Canada was definitely the better on paper. Felt like they had the better decor coming into the Olympics. I really don't think it does make you wonder, but I really don't think being the best decor on paper heading into the Olympics doesn't. I think you can change it up if they have a poor tournament, and I really don't think every player had a great tournament. And one that we're going to be talking about a lot, I think, is Renata Fast, who had a very, not to her level
No,
Here,
not for the best defenseman in the world level, no.
Newsflash, I do have her on my team, but like
Okay.
you look at like your best defenseman is not performing very well. Maybe the rest of the decor is not going to perform very well. I think we have. I think it doesn't help that you have Jocelyn the Rock as playing 22 minutes right beside you, but
And it'll be interesting to see if any of us have Jocelyn the Rock on this team.
well, I'm very curious if you have her or not. So, but let's do this. Do you want to get in first pair?
Sure, I'll do my first pairing.
This is okay.
And you know what? We haven't had a lot of time to talk about this, my top defenseman on this team, because they didn't take her to this Olympics. But she will most definitely be on the 2030 roster. Chloe Primarano will top out my decor. Just a phenomenal player. We've talked a lot about her in the past. I have her matched up with someone we just talked about. I'm going to put her up with Renata Fast and put up the current best defenseman in the world and the future best defenseman in the world. And Renata Fast, I believe is she 34 right now, hovering around that age?
No, Renata Fast is 31 years old.
31, even better. She'll be 35, and she'll be fine. Yeah, I don't think she's going to be as slow as Jocelyn the Rock was at the current age she was at this Olympics. Renata Fast is phenomenal.
Jocelyn the Rock wasn't slow. It's just her with the puck. Yeah, she was not as fast as Renata Fast. So
there you go.
You have at this point, Primaro's at 19, so she'll be 23 years old. She will definitely be she'll be an upgrade come speed. So.
Yep.
And it's crazy. It's crazy. We are currently on the same page once again. Wow. I have Chloe Primarano as my left defenseman, Renata Fast as my right defenseman. I think it made me wonder, do I want to bump down Renata Fast down lower and have less time on ice? But then you look at you look at the other defenseman that could potentially take that number one spot on the right side, and I can't do that.
No, she's too good.
Yeah, the only other option would have been, and I honestly thought you might have done it. I thought you might have put Sophie Jakes up there, but
I could have.
You could have.
I really could have.
But no, I just
should have.
I don't see it. So yeah, Renata Fast, no brainer. I think just looking at the other potential players that could slide into this decor on the right side, it was Renata Fast. She's probably going to be the best one in 4 years from now. So at the age of 35, chugging along, I can't go wrong. So.
Okay. Deep pairing number 2. And for this one, I have nothing changing from this roster.
Okay.
Well, the pairing won't change. I'll say that. I'm putting Claire Thompson with Sophie Jakes on my second pairing. The Golden Eyes teammates. And they're both still young enough. I believe Thompson will be 32 come next Olympics. And Jakes will still be probably older 20s. Mm-hmm. But I think Jake's sky's the limit. Like, she'll be in her prime by come this Olympics. And Claire Thompson played a lot with Sophie Jakes. She's an Olympic media all-star. Mm-hmm. She, mind you, I don't know if there's a lot of obviously the upcoming talent is interesting, and that will be the theme of this episode. How many younger players do you have? Yeah. But I think Claire Thompson will still be a consistent factor on defense in the PWHL, and I think she holds down the spot here.
Okay, interesting. Yes, Claire Thompson is 28 years old right now, so she'll be 32. I'm assuming you have her on the left side, Jake's on the right side. I do not have Claire Thompson on my roster.
Okay. I think that's interesting. But
I know that they said came out of nowhere that she was probably injured in the Olympics, which there's nothing she didn't sit out for her the past couple of Golden Eyes games. So I don't really know if she's injured or not, but I'm going to assume she is still. I just still don't think, injury or not, I just don't know if she'll crack it. Wasn't very good on the during the Olympic tournament. She was on that second pairing, she was on that third pairing, and it just wasn't working with Jakes. Honestly, Jakes was elevating her game where Claire Thompson was not. It felt like she just wasn't as good. So I don't have Claire Thompson on my roster. Claire Thompson, she's got 15 games so far in the PWHL this year, 9 points. She had 4 points in the Olympics, though, somehow. It's because she was on that power play, too, carving up those 3 defensemen minutes on that.
Do you know how many points Claire Thompson had in the 2022 Olympics?
Yes. And it went down. She dropped off.
She had 13
I know,
points
but
in
she
that
dropped
Olympics.
off 9 points.
That's insane.
I know that's insane, but that was 4 years ago, and she didn't produce that many. So you just look at the curve.
I mean, she had
it's going
4
down.
points. I would like to know where that ranks her without throughout defenseman in the tournament. Like on Team Canada, pardon me.
Oh, it's probably pretty up there. Let me see here. What did Renata Fast here? Renata Fast had 8 points. How did she? Oh, doesn't even no goals for Renata Fast though. 8 points. Shelton had 4 points. Jakes had 2 points. No, I felt like 5-on-5 play. Honestly, Claire Thompson and Jakes, they're on the third pairing. Not a crazy amount of time on ice. Jakes felt like she honestly might have been the better 5-on-5 player. Granted, we don't know the injury on Claire Thompson, but Jakes felt more effective. She's more of a puck-moving defenseman. Claire Thompson just felt like she couldn't keep up as much, and she got that power play time. She scored a goal. I just don't have Thompson on my roster. So and we talked about Jakes a little bit too. I have Jakes as my second pairing right defenseman, but I have her matched up with what we saw in the Olympics near the end, Ella Shelton on the left side.
Okay.
So those are my 3 returning is Fast, Shelton, and Jakes right there.
Okay.
And the 3 of the 4 in the top 4. So
Okay. Well, out of my remaining 3, 2 of them are returning. So
can I ask before we get into the third pairing, do you have Ella Shelton on your?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you have Aaron Ambrose?
I do.
Wow. All right. You had 5.
Yeah.
So LaRock and Tabin aren't back.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. You don't take 23-year-old Nicole Gosling.
I do. You just completed my decor. Congratulations, Nicole Gosling,
frickin'
Aaron Ambrose, and Ella Shelton are my
I
final
forgot you had 7.
3
Okay.
defensemen.
So you don't look at the NCAA numbers at all, or even the.
I don't know. There's no one that really jumped
U22s.
off the page for me, defensive wise, especially going into the age they'll be at 2030. I think the decor right now is in 2026. Like we had 6 very capable defensemen.
Yeah.
And maybe they didn't get the result they wanted, but they're still putting up great numbers in the PWHL. And obviously the factor is age, and I don't think any of these guys will be at the age where, I don't want to call it the Jocelyn the Rock, where you're 38 and you kind of stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
These guys will still be, everyone's, I believe, going to be 35 or younger.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind the decor. And I think
Okay.
we talked about, yes, you can bring back players at an old age because they have experience, but at some point it becomes too much. I don't think that plays a factor on the decor like it did this year on the offense.
So you just think they'll just stay sustainable come 4 years from now? You think they'll be able to keep up and stay effective?
Well, I think Chloe Primerano is a big
Helps.
X factor on the. Yeah, she just changes up the whole dynamic. It takes off a lot of the pressure, maybe from Renata Fast to bring a lot of the offense and stuff like that. And Primerano is going to eat a lot of these minutes.
Right.
So Aaron Ambrose can play third pairing or 7th and just play pure shutdown.
Yeah, I mean, Primerano is going to be by far the most dynamic defenseman on this team. I don't see much more elevation from Sophie Jakes if she can figure out more of the defensive side. If she can figure out the defensive side, she's going to just find more goals, and she should be power play 1 probably.
Yep.
Maybe you have Primerano power play 1 and Jake's power play 2.
I would put Primerano power play
But
1.
Those two will by far run the defense, in my opinion. And you could go super mega and put them both on the same pairing because one's a left-handed defenseman, one's a right-handed defenseman too. So there's options, which I like, but
It's the dream right there.
I think just with my roster, I'll get my bottom pairing, my 7th defenseman right now. I just think one thing is we still got to keep setting up for future, and that's what we see this year. It felt like we screwed ourselves because we didn't bring players.
I just think that
I think we just need to go younger. Look at USA.
I agree.
They had three NCAA defensemen.
I agree,
back
but
there,
I think it's
under 23.
I think it's younger on the forward core majority. I think the D core is not that bad.
I wasn't as fond as the decor. I don't think they played as very well.
But do you think younger pieces make that? Do you think that changes that?
Yeah, I think we can find more. Dude, I have like what 5 out of 7 defensemen I could say are dynamic at least. Maybe, depending what Renata Fast is, maybe it's just 4. But
Okay.
I would like to see some more dynamic defensemen on this team. You see USA, gosh, I don't know how Megan Keller does it, but she is at what? How old is Megan Keller? 35 years old. She's a dynamic defenseman. You have Layla Edwards, who somehow comes out of nowhere as a forward on her.
She might be the
college
most
team. dynamic
player on the team just because she plays both offense and defense.
Exactly. She's slow though, but you have her, and then you have why am I blanking? Caroline Harvey, sorry, the best defenseman in the entire tournament.
Yeah, future.
You got 3
first overall pick potentially. Yeah.
You got 3, and then you've got good pieces surrounding it. You're gonna have 7 defensemen. Why not just frickin' load up a dynamic defenseman? And if it doesn't go well, I don't think it can get much worse than what our team did this year. So here, while you look up whatever you're looking up, this is my next pairing. On the left side, I have Nicole Gosling, who is she is a rookie this year in the PWHL, 6 points on Montreal, and then that's on the left side. And then the first NCAA, or not even NCAA. Hold on. Yes, NCAA, sorry. Looking at my stats wrong. First NCAA player that I am going to be announcing other than Primerano, and who has not had any national team experience. I'm going with Kate Manis. She's currently 18 years old. She plays at Clarkson right now. She was Burlington last year, Burlington Barracuda in the U22 Women's League here. Mm-hmm. You want to hear these numbers? She actually has better numbers this year, and this is her first year in college than Chloe Primerano.
Okay.
In 35 games, she has 6 goals, 26 assists, and 32 points.
Okay.
She had an unbelievable U18s as well,
with 1 assist.
Sorry, I keep looking at.
I don't know.
It's because there's 2 players. There's 2 players that my next one is also in the U18, and they're right beside each other in my stats. So I keep looking down.
You're good.
My next defenseman, who is 7th, had a unbelievable.
Might as well just list them.
Yeah. Okay. My 7th is Megan Mossy, who had.
Yeah.
This is who I was going to say.
Yeah.
She had 2 goals, 9 assists, 11 points.
But she'll only be 20 by the time next Olympics comes up.
Okay.
And I'm asking you to explain why you pick her over somebody who has been shown and obviously playing on the biggest stage like the Olympics.
Yeah.
Someone like Erin Ambrose or Claire Thompson.
Well, we all made the argument for Chloe Primerano to make this team.
Yes.
In the 2026 round.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost the exact same thing. She got an extra year under her belt.
Okay.
She mimics Chloe Primerano. Obviously, we don't know what she's going to do in her second U18s, but she pretty much is going to mimic that. And she's the only issue is she's in the U22 league, so she's going to go to college next year, or 2 years from now. So we don't know what that's going to look like, but the way the U18s, man, I think speaks a lot. Puck moving defenseman, and you can never have too many puck moving defensemen. You know that.
So we've known about Chloe Primerano for the longest time. We understand she's going to be the future of Team Canada's defenseman for the longest time. And you're comparing Megan Mossy to Chloe Primerano. Like, yes, we had arguments with Primerano
numbers wise, sure. Yeah.
She was,
and to benefit to your doubt, Primerano was on the U8. She was 18 years old and she made the World Championships team.
Yes.
Which Mossy, she's 16 years old. We don't know what she'll be doing in 2 years.
Still
exactly.
Time, yeah.
So I just look at the U18 numbers. She's a year younger, or she's still got a year left in that. I think just looking at defenseman wise, I think I'd want to take it. On my roster, 2020 or 2030 roster, I'm going to take a flyer and try and hopefully look good here. I would rather. How old's Erin Ambrose? I don't even have her on my snubs list. I don't know how old she is.
You don't? Okay. I think she's around 31, maybe younger.
Yeah. So she'd be on the older side. So that could be the next Jocelyn
on the
Rock
dot,
too.
31.
Okay, so she'll be 35 as well.
Still young enough to play the game.
I know, but 35. What do you see? When you look at women's hockey, what do you see like a prime?
Well, it's definitely
Austin Matthews,
Connor.
Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid's is 26 to 30, 31. What do you see on the women's side?
I think as the league expands, and I think we'll see a trend of NCAA players leaving the NCAA earlier. I think we'll start to see a bit more like the mid to early 20s, like the 27 to 26.
Do you think players' primes start in the NCAA and carry on through the PWHL? Like, do you think Abby Murphy is in her prime or Caroline Harvey's in her prime right now?
The thing is, I think the two leagues are different. I think you can have primes in both leagues.
But hold on, but we still have we can still use this example through World Championships and Olympic teams,
Yes,
like the
we
national
can.
teams. That's the same level. It's been the same level of play for years now. It's always been the same landscape. Canada, USA, and then teams are getting stronger every year, but there's the rest. It's the same landscape. So do you think come national teams and just focusing on that, these players are not in their prime?
No, these players are in their prime.
Okay.
But I think like I said, I think it'll start to shift to a bit more of what we'll see in the NHL now with the 26 to 27. Come out of the NCAA, play a year, maybe a sophomore slump, and then you're right on to the thick of it. And I think someone entering that is Sarah Fillier.
Okay. Yeah, Sarah Philly said it down here. Okay. So I would just say if we're talking prime, I would say it can start.
It just doesn't make
they're
sense
23
to me.
years.
It doesn't make sense to me how all these NCAA players, yes, they're dominating, but then all of a sudden they come to the PWHL and they're just what we consider them like they've dropped off a cliff, and we just focus on the new NCAA talent.
No. I'm just saying. Well, the PWHL scoring is atrocious.
Yes,
in the PWHL.
they're two
It's
different
super
leagues.
low.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
But I think the NCAA, I think that play that's opened up, there's not as many talented, like the depth on those teams are not nearly as talented. I think allows a player to work on their skill a lot more when the play's opened up like that, especially offensively.
Yes.
Is that not crazy to say?
No, but all these PWHL players have also gone through that process.
I know, but that was a long time ago. This is the best the NCAA women's side will ever, it's ever been.
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's just.
And the PWHL helps that because there's now a main goal to what you want to do afterwards too. So all these players that really want to give it a shot are going to give it a shot because there's an actual sustainable league that's in the future that is potentially in play for all these players as well. So yeah, I that's why I give the credit to younger players. And how many? Caroline Hervey she's 23. She made the Olympic team in 2022, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Edwards did, but
I think you'd be surprised.
You think she was? I don't.
There's a couple of them that
like
did
Murphy.
make that
I think
team.
was. Here, let me pull up their roster here. But I just think the PWHL really can develop, but it can also just add and just you can play to your best abilities. No, Abby Murphy is on.
Abby
here.
Murphy's on the team. Yeah.
Okay, Caroline Hervey is.
There was a couple of them.
Caroline Harvey. Yeah, so Caroline Harvey and Abby Murphy as 19-year-olds made the team. So there's like nothing wrong with it. I know they came second in that one, but Sarah Fillier was probably in the NCAA when she made the 2022 team. So I just think there's nothing wrong, and I think you can keep going. You can take it a step further. I think these players are going to be more effective. So
Okay.
And where is the 2030 Olympics? It's in France.
The French Alps.
What are the odds that rink is bigger as well? It's probably bigger ice.
Absolutely, yeah.
NCAA, faster.
I mean,
more
we'll
open
see,
game,
man.
Special teams game.
We'll
I
see.
think it could benefit these players, faster players. So,
But the current NCAA players right now, who are 23, 22 years old, we'll use the Americans as the example. Layla Edwards, Caroline Harvey. These guys are going to be in their prime in the PWHL at 27, 28 years old. Like, those skills will still translate. You can't just the conversation we're having right now, it just kind of seems like if they're in the NCAA, they're going to be phenomenal because they have all this open ice and they have all this, their team.
Yeah.
The offense kind of, goes around them. And if you're in the PWHL, you play a game that's very shut down, very structured, and it kind of seems the NCAA has the advantage over the PWHL players just because of those factors. But in 4 years, you're not telling me Caroline Harvey's going to take over, not again, even though she's in the PWHL again.
no, I 100% agree, but I'm just saying you can't knock these NCAA players.
No, I'm not.
You look at those, they were big pieces on that Team USA in 2026.
Absolutely what they were,
So
yes.
I understand, but they're not going to get weaker when they go to the PWHL. I think that's what you're trying to say.
Yes.
But just the scoring is down.
I know the scoring is
Yes.
down. It's two different leagues.
Yeah, I think I'm just saying we can rely on these players, and it honestly, it's good. If they were playing in the PWHL at 22 years old, isn't going to affect them as much as they were playing in the NCAA at 22 years old.
I would like to see a high level prospect commit early to the PWHL and how they would develop.
I don't think we'll ever see that.
I definitely think we will.
I don't know.
Ever. Ever is a forever lasting word. One day we will see a 20-year-old play in the PWHL.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
I understand
That's
what
ever.
you're saying, but that's in 20 years from now. We're talking about from 4 years from now. That's what I mean.
Okay, well, if you want to talk 4 years from now, obviously no 20-year-old's going to get drafted into PWHL.
No, I think they're hesitant, man. Like Abby Murphy was supposed to commit last year. She said she was, and then when that day the list came out, she wasn't on there.
No.
Everyone was upset. So
I would be upset.
and it's
too.
also
I'd be
weird.
upset
It's
too.
also weird that you can the one thing I don't like is that you know the draft order before you commit. So like if you're like Caroline Hervey and you hate, gosh, let's just say it, if it's a Canadian team drafted first and you just don't want to live in Canada, or you don't want to live in a certain city and they have the first overall pick, you just don't commit. But in their sake, they're 23 years old.
Yeah.
This is their last year of college.
I think you should be able, like the NHL. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't have to declare. Do you have to declare for the draft?
Declare.
No, you just
Commit,
you just
declare.
draft.
No,
you
yeah,
can draft
they just
anybody
go.
in the world.
You just don't sign.
You could be drafted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can. There's nothing like that. So you actually
What would be interesting is that it's something like that, and even if they had a rule after maybe a year or 2, if the player doesn't commit, the contract gets abolished or the commitment gets abolished or something like that.
It's just the thing with how the PWHL setup is. You're drafted, you're expected to play.
And do you think this will ever happen where, well, obviously, in the NHL, you can get drafted and go back to college and still play in college? Do you think that will ever happen?
That. You can do that still. I think
In the PWHL?
but nobody does it. They're good enough to play. There's not enough picks either.
Okay, I'll rephrase my question. Do you think the PWHL will ever lower the age of drafting where these players who are like maybe 21, 22 can get
just
drafted,
sit around with
but they just
draft rights?
continue you just sit around with the draft rights till they commit to the team?
Yeah, I just think there's not enough. You're really putting a lot of. I don't know if you want to put all your bags all your eggs into the basket with the NCAA. You might need to wait until a better league pops up, or until something else.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because all these players going to the NCAA, do you really want to?
Weren't you just pumping the NCAA's
I know, but I'm saying no. On the PWHL business side,
Okay.
are you really wanting to? Is that the league that you want to make like?
I mean, what else? Like the PWHL? Are you talking from the NCAA?
No, yes. Like I'm saying,
part
the
of it, or the-
PWHL. I'm saying the PWHL might have to wait until something pops up in Canada where players are actually actively going to it. You don't want to have a monopoly where it's just NCAA and put all your eggs in that basket. You know what I mean?
Okay, but what if it was just generalized? If you were 21, 22 years old, the Canadian League can still pop up and you can just still get drafted out of
Yes.
that league. It doesn't have to be a commitment to the NCAA. It's just a commitment to younger players. But they still have the ability to go out and finish their post-secondary career.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay, so I believe your point was if you commit to the NCAA, it kind of restricts the ability for a Canadian league to pop up, and you think the PWHL has to wait for that league to develop before you do something like that.
Yes, yeah. I'm saying if you have 100% of your talent pool, if they're not in the PWHL and they're signed or they're committed to a team they've already been drafted to, do you want every single 100% of those players to be going to the NCAA?
But why do they have to go to the NCAA?
Well, there's no other league right now.
But what restricts just because of the draft process a new league from?
I'm just saying. I don't know if you want to have these draft-rated players in the NCAA, like every single one. That's a lot of monopoly from the NCAA.
True.
What if there's a lockout? Like there's player strikes all the time from all these regional.
Okay, true.
NCAA
but still,
regions.
What restricts a new league from merging even without?
There is nothing restricting.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
even without the whole draft process, there's still nothing that restricts that league from
I know, but I'm
starting.
just saying they might have to do something, or you know what I mean.
You just want more than one league for development wise.
Yes.
I can
you
get-
look
I
at
can get that.
you look at the NHL, there's a gazillion. You look out in Europe, you look to NCAA, you look to CHL. There's a lot. If there's still options in case something doesn't work out in the NCAA. If if you're in the middle of a year and something bad if you just get I don't know. The worst can happen. There's going to be sometime there's some. If this happens and the NCAA only plays, what if you get suspended from your own team and you can't play for the rest of the year?
Then you know what you do?
What?
You go to the PWHL.
What if you're not good for the good enough for the PWHL because you're only 20 years old?
Well, then it's not a question. Then who cares about that player?
You can't have if you're drafted by a PWHL team, you can't be sitting around doing nothing. Okay. That's my point.
Okay, let's keep talking about this. I get what you're saying, but what else are they supposed to do?
Exactly. That's why there needs to be a secondary option.
That was like it would kind of be like if a rookie in the PWHL got suspended for 25 games and they had nothing else to do anyways.
Yeah, but that's a different perspective and story.
They're just drafted. They just got suspended. If they get suspended from the NCAA, like that's their own.
Or like, what if they just have an issue? What if they have an issue with their team? You know what I mean?
You transfer. That's just.
But
that's
you can't transfer
stuff.
middle of the season.
That's just standard hockey.
The transfer portals in the off season.
I think this happens all the time on the men's side of the game.
Yeah, but they can go to a different league. And I don't think it happens all the time on the men's side because there's a lot of other options.
I think it does. I think the men's side is just huge that you don't maybe see it all the time.
No, but but then look at, there's been a couple examples here with the NCAA and the CHL. There's been players in the NCAA that just can't do it. So they go back to the CHL halfway through the season.
Yes.
There's nothing like that in the women's side.
That's true. There is.
What is it?
U22 AA Ontario women's hockey.
I just think they need. Well, that could be the option. That probably will be the option, but it's just not developed enough. And all the talent in that, all the top tier players are 16 and 17-year-olds carving up that league against some
sports.
U sport. I mean,
there is professional hockey overseas too.
Yes, I know. Which could be an option, but I think
I get
Canada.
What you're saying,
I'm just saying Canada.
There needs to be a new emerging league to give talent secondary options. Well, a league has to emerge, right? Because they're just mediocre right now, and nothing is close to the NCAA talent.
Yes,
this was just kind of a random conversation.
Yes, I know. We spent 20 minutes on this. We've been recording for 47 minutes. We haven't even done the forward.
You're gonna have to cut that down, but
I'll figure out a way.
Let's do forwards.
Hold on. Last point. Sure. It could be the U22 league, but that's not across Canada, which I think is fine. It can all be in Ontario. Just the issue is that it's all 16, 17-year-olds, and then they go to the NCAA.
Yes.
Which I'm just saying the talent level needs to be, the skill level just needs to be better possibly, and that could be what it is. It's also just
I think
grade
U-Sports,
10s.
man. I think U-Sports might be a decent option.
It could be. It could be. I mean, it's just mostly U-Sports as well. Yeah, okay, actually it would work. Yes, I was just going to say they all get drafted right after they're done U-Sports, but if they're getting drafted at 20 years old,
it'd be the same thing as NCAA,
I think this was the first, out of the 2 years of drafts or 3 years of drafts, this is the first year that no U-Sports players got drafted too. Fun fact. So.
That's cool. See, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool.
That nobody got drafted?
No, it's cool that people have got drafted in the past, but it's even a consideration. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I was actually just looking at the Etobicoke Junior Dolphins U22 schedule. We should go to a game.
You want to go to a U22 game?
Just with the Etobicoke Dolphins with 2030 Megan Mossy on the team.
Scout. We could. Good, just down the road.
Think about it. You just picked an Olympian, and she could be on this team. She is on this team.
That's a good point. I never thought about that, but we could go.
And Etobicoke's not that far away.
No, those games are not far away either. So, all right, run down your decor of who you have.
All right, my decor is Rihanna Fast, Chloe Primerano, Claire Thompson, Sophie Jakes, Nicole Gosling, Erin Ambrose, and Ella Shelton.
All right, and my decor is, hold on, let me find where I was. Chloe Primerano, Renata Fast, Ella Shelton, Sophie Jakes, Nicole Gosling, Kate Manis, and Megan Mossy. The two snubs I thought about is Kendall Cooper, who is in her rookie year at Minnesota. She's actually doing pretty well. She's got 9 points in 18 games as a 23-year-old. And then Danica Maynard, who currently is not playing in an actual club. She is in Kelowna, U18. I think it might be a high school league or something, or a prep league. She's playing there, and then in the U18, she had 4 points. So she's 18-year-old, but I went with Mossy is my seventh defenseman. So.
Okay. Let's get to the forward core. I have 8 returners. You have 5. This will be the most different out of the entire roster. And I think going into the tournament too, we understood this team was old and they looked slow and sloppy, and the Americans were fast and fun, and we wanted to be fast and fun too. So we added. I mean, I think I did a good job balancing some players who won't be extremely old, but still hold a lot of experience and still hold a lot of skill on this team, but also with the new upcoming emerging talent. And I think, let's hear your direction. If I'm gonna guess, I think you did keep. You said you had. How many? 5 returners?
Yeah.
I think obviously you're not going to get rid of everybody who was on this 2026 team. You just can't.
No.
Because there were still some very good players. Mind you, obviously you're going to keep like a couple top end players who are like 26, 27 right now in their rookie years.
Who will be considered vets. 4 years from now.
I don't know if they're vets, but I'd say like in their prime to maybe emerging. A vet on, I mean, maybe a vet
on
because,
this team, on
on
my
this team.
for
Yes,
sure.
correct.
Yes. Okay.
And I know you like the young talent. So let's
the way I built it. The only issue now that I think about it now is like we're gonna score a piss lot of goals, but I'm a little scared
Where's the
about
defense.
It's the only question. It's hard to. It's nice and easy to make these rosters when you see these elite prospects because gosh, I haven't seen every single player play. It's easy to make these rosters, look at the points, but then you think, are they good enough defensively? So. I don't.
That's what the defense for.
Yeah,
That's what the defense is for.
But we're gonna score a lot of goals and pray that we outscore our opponent and hope. And
right.
Rene Desbiens or Gascon can stand their head for one game.
All right.
So that's how I kind of built it. What do we want to do? Do we want to go line by line?
Yes.
I think. Okay, you want to go line by line?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to go first.
Okay. My first line center is what I'll start with, and it's one of my favorite players to watch. And I hope you also have them as your first line center because I've said it before that she is the next decade's Marie-Philippe Poulin, the potential leader of this team, even though we did disclose I do have MPP on this team.
Yep.
So she'll still be the captain. But she probably should wear an A, potentially. I have Sarah Fillier as my first line center, taking over in the PWHL, had at times a very good tournament here at the Olympics, has been Canada's best player easily in moments over the last year of Canadian competition. One of the only players who was all right at the rivalry series. Sarah Fillier, no shadow of a doubt, she'll be here in 2030. First line center. On my left side of her, I have another returner. And somebody who played a lot with Sarah Fillier this year at the Olympics. It's Daryl Watts. And I also think Watts is about the same age as Sarah Fillier.
Yeah.
We'll be both kind of in their prime, still probably tearing up the PWHL just like they are right now. And I think that combo is lethal.
Yep.
So I have them together.
Okay.
On the right side, first player, newcomer to Team Canada. Not to Team Canada, but to Team Canada's Olympic team. Caitlin Kramer will be my right winger of Sarah Fillier and Daryl Watts.
All right, I like that. So I've got the exact same line.
Wow.
Issue is it's hard to pick who's gonna be the center, but I did wonder about Fillier being the right wing. She's right-handed. Kramer is center. Kramer's been a center her whole life. She played center in the rivalry series on the third line most of the time. I have Kramer as my center, but it's a coin flip. In 4 years from now, that's hard.
You can flip them too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I just like the dynamic of this line. And I think you'd agree.
I think Daryl Watts is stapled to the left wing though. She's a certified winger too. So yeah, I have the exact same line, and it's you just look at the dynamic play of Kramer in the rivalry series. I think she like nobody had a good tournament, but you can see glimpses of just the skill and the puck handling, and it feels like she can open up the play. She can beat a defender on the rush. I think there's just that dynamic skill on the offensive side. Just she could play she could probably play 20 to 22 minutes, especially 4 years from now, and she's gonna be better defensively.
And she's a pure goal scorer.
Yeah,
that's what I like with Fillier.
Yeah, and she'll probably just be she probably will be in the PWHL by the time. For your point, that helps you, and I just think it makes sense.
It's perfect.
Yeah, and obviously Fillier and Watts the best 2 players on the team in the Olympics. So
Yeah. And no, that's
Yeah.
easy. That's just an easy point right there. I like that first line. I'm glad we agreed. Here's where stuff gets different. I guarantee you we're going to have different discrepancies here going to the bottom 9.
okay, let's
Second line.
Yeah.
So I'll start with my center. And I didn't know where to put her. Originally, I had her as the third line center.
Okay.
But, Marie-Philippe Poulin is my second line center.
Okay.
Best player in the world in 4 more years. She will probably still, but maybe, do you think Marie-Philippe Poulin will be in the conversation still as maybe not the best player in the world, but still a superstar in the PWHL?
Oh, superstar in the PWHL.
All-star.
All-star. There's going to be probably 10 leagues or 10 teams by then probably. I would say yes. I think she would be. I'm just trying to think the comparison is Hillary Knight is 36 years old. Mm-hmm. Would she be considered an all-star? She's on Seattle right now.
Yes.
So then I think
she just led the PWHL scoring.
Yeah, 2 years older than that, and 4 years from now when Poulin will be 38. I think she'll still be up there. I don't know if it's going to be. Is Poulin a point a game right now in the PWHL?
She's like top 3 in scoring.
Let's see.
Pretty sure.
She's got 15 points in 16 games. I would say, yeah, I think so. I think it'll be close, but I don't think she'll be a point a game unless this league really opens up, which, gosh, I hope so for their sake. But, yeah, I'd say Poulin is an all-star, but I do not have her as my second line center.
Okay. Interesting. We'll have to find out where you have her. Okay, moving on. I'll go to my left side. And somebody who made, I don't know, no, it's not their national team debut, but definitely not their national team debut, but had a decent tournament. 5 points in 7 games for someone who played a bit of a power play role and definitely in the depths of the lineup. I'm going to put Julia Gosling on that left side of Marie-Philippe Poulin.
Can I ask you who your right wing is first?
Yes.
Or next?
Yes. That would be my next position to reveal.
Yeah.
And here is the first, because I'm not counting Caitlin Kramer because she's played for the national team before.
Yeah.
First non-national team player to be on my roster. I'm going with Sarah Manis as my right winger, the 18-year-old.
You don't take her sister on defense, but you take her on the forward guard.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just did.
Interesting. I've Manis on my team. I got both. So.
I know you do. And then she had a great U18s last year, assistant captain, and 52 points in 35 games this year with Clarkson University. In 4 more years, that's the exact offensive output I want on this team.
Yeah.
And if she's doing it in a rookie year, she's going to be even better in her senior year. So
Exactly. Yeah, U18, she wore an A as well.
Yep.
9 points. Yeah, Clarkson, unbelievable numbers, and she's a freshman. So,
yeah,
it's
Easy
no
pick.
doubter. Right-handed shot, gonna be could most likely be a top 6 player, which I don't have her as a top. Oh, actually, she's a left shot, I think, but I don't have her in my top 6. But she's on my team too.
Okay.
I am surprised. Okay, I'm gonna. This is bad, but I'm gonna spoil my third line.
Sure.
My third line is Julie Gosling on the left side, Poulin as center. So
Yeah.
Gosling left side, Poulin as my center, and then on the right side, teammates with Gosling, I have Daniel Serdachny,
Okay.
who also can play
okay.
center, so you can flip Poulin and Serdachny if you want. But I think an older veteran line like that. Obviously, Serdachny scored a golden goal. She wasn't on the Olympic team, but she most definitely, I think, will find a spot on this team as a not a depth forward, but like a I don't know what we describe, but like third line can probably PK, can probably find time on the power play too.
So we're talking like a Julie Gosling this year at the Olympics.
Yeah. I'm saying we'll have 2 Julia Goslings, and one is Serdachny and one is Gosling.
Yeah.
And then you have one of the greatest Canadian hockey player ever, in Marie-Philippe Poulin as a center. So,
Okay.
and like I think I'd pretty much the second line and third line. I probably think about it now. Maybe I'd flip them just because of experience wise. But
Yeah.
but that's who I got. That's my third pairing.
Okay.
Third line.
Okay.
Sorry, and you had it was Gosling, Poulin, and Manis on the right side.
Yeah.
Okay. I have Manis as my left wing fourth liner, just so you know.
Okay.
But so far, we're 6 for 6 on players in the roster.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Do you want me to outrun my second line?
Sure. Yeah.
So on my left wing, the player that I had the most question marks about not making the top 6 on the Olympic team, who was on the Olympic team in 2026, I have Jen Gardner as my second line left winger, maybe third line. She is my. I think she has to be in the top 6. She had what, 10 points in 7 games in the World Championships last year. She did 6 goals. So I don't know how she wasn't in the top 6, and she barely played, but I'm giving her the shout. She's playing top 6 minutes, playing 20 minutes a night.
And she's young.
Yeah, she's 24 years old, so she'll be 28.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. Dynamic, very offensive, got a great shot. Now this is where it gets interesting. This one's you're not gonna like these because they're young.
Oh God.
But
I love it.
As my second line center,
Yeah.
potentially third, I have Rosalie Tremblay, who just played at the U18s as a 17-year-old.
Okay.
And then another one that I'm assuming you probably have on is Striker Zablocki, who has a left-handed shot, but I have to move somebody to the right wing, and I figured I'd put her up there. What's your thoughts? Do you even have those pulled up right now? Do you have either of those players on your team? Why?
Well, do you want me to expose my lineup, or do you want me to keep it
expose
hush?
it while I find these players on my sheet.
Okay, so you want me to tell you if I have them on my team or not?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that I tell you I have all 3 of those players on my team.
That's awesome.
So
I can't.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mind you, couple question marks around Tremblay because she will be only 21 years old.
Yeah.
I think it will come down to will she get much time when she's 19 years old playing in a world championship? Because I think you need at least a couple world championships before you get Olympic roster showed out.
Yeah.
So
That's actually a good point. I do wonder. Oh, that's something I never really thought about. There's world championships every year. How many years will these players have experience? I didn't really think about that. Tremblay, she wore the A at the U18s. She had 7 points this past year. And then Zablocki was on the U18s the year before. She's 19 right now. She had 12 points,
yeah,
8 goals.
Yeah, she's nasty.
In only 6 games. So she's playing Northeastern right now. She's got 42 points in 35 games.
Yeah, she's gross.
Yeah, and then Tremblay is playing in. I don't know what the CA. I don't see her as a U22 player right now. I don't know what the CAHS is. I'm assuming it's a high school league or a prep league. You know what I mean? So I don't know if she's actually in a club or if she's just playing in a private school loop. But I don't really understand what she's doing.
I think it's a league in Quebec.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good point. It is in Quebec. Maybe it is a real league, but she hasn't played a game there. So I don't know what's going on there or what she's doing, but she carved at the U18s. She was I believe she's committed to Wisconsin as well next year. I believe she was a top line or second line center on that U18 team. Top line or second line.
Top 6 for sure.
Good player. Worn a. I think it's my first out of left field. Is she gonna play in the top 6 or not? But I'm gonna give the top 6 to younger players, especially since they already got Fillier and Watts up there. So
okay.
And I like the fact that they're playing with just pass the puck to Gardner, and I think it works out. She's
I
gonna
don't
shoot
know.
the puck.
Yeah, Gardner will shoot the puck, but is she good enough to run that entire line? If the whole role of the other two is pass the
that's
puck
why
to
I'm
Gardner?
praying that maybe Tremblay or Zablocki can maybe help.
Okay.
All right, think about it.
If you have them on their second line, they
Zablocki
better
will
be
be
able to help.
23.
Yes.
So that's
I like
that's
Zablocki,
Fillier's
yeah.
age when she was at 22 Olympics, and or that's a little older than what Fillier was at the 2022 Olympics. Then you have, I'm just taking a flyer on Zablocki. Or sorry, Tremblay.
Yeah.
But yeah. And Striker Zablocki is an electric
Sick name.
It is an awesome
Striker.
name.
That is a sick
Striker.
name. Shout out the parents.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'll go to my third line. it is going to be Jen Gardner on the left. So Jen Gardner will make another Olympic appearance, as you mentioned, 20 years old. Like it. Yeah, on the left side, I'm going to have Jen Gardner coming back. Obviously, the youngest player on this 2026 team. So she'll be in her 28 years old. Pretty good age to come back for another Olympics. I originally had her playing with MPP because of that connection they had on Montreal. Not anymore because I moved. I actually changed my two centers, my middle two centers. And now playing with Jen Gardner down the middle. And I'm interested to see if you have her on your roster. It's Emma Malte. And I know she didn't have her last two Olympics weren't the best. Only 2 points, I believe, in both of them.
Yeah.
But what do you think about Malte? You don't have to reveal if you have her on her roster yet. But do you think maybe you do. Do you think she's got a chance to be here?
Emma Malte, I do not have her on my roster. She'll be, 30 years old by then. I don't see her game evolving much more than what it is right now.
Yeah.
And I just don't. 2 points in the last two Olympics is what I think you said.
I think in both.
The World Championships, she had 3 points. Like, I just don't. I don't see much of a elevation of her game, so I just don't. I don't think there's a reason to have her back. Although she could, she honestly could, but I really just don't. I don't see it.
I think she played more of a depth role still.
Yeah, she could definitely play. She could definitely play a depth role, but experience that could help. Is this your third line? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, like third line, fourth line, defensive minded.
Yeah.
I honestly forget who was on the PK for Canada. I don't know if she would have been on there or not.
I can see it.
If she doesn't have a role on the PK, she's not going to have a role in the power play. I just don't.
No.
I don't know if there's really a need for her. 5-on-5 plays, meh.
Okay.
But, I mean, I understand why experience. You need some of these experienced players. My question is, do you have Emily Clark on your team?
Do you want me to tell you now?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. I was going to say if you didn't have Clark. And if it was I thought about, do I go Clark or Malte? And then, you know what? I went with neither. So
You have neither. You don't have Emily Clark either. Nice.
No.
Okay. My next player, and I don't know if this one will be more interesting. I wonder if you have her on your team.
Yeah.
Another older player, but I believe currently tied for first in points at the PWHL. Brianne Jenner, I have on my third line.
Interesting.
Of the 2030 team. Obviously, a leadership role. Probably wears the A. She wore the captain when Poulin went down for the couple of games. Mm-hmm. And I think she's still producing at an elite level. Will that drop off? Yes. But that's why I have her playing in a bottom six role. She's played the game long enough. Her IQ is through the roof. She can read plays. She knows what it takes to win an Olympic gold. And I think Brianne Jenner, she will be 38 years old come next Olympics. Very old, yes. But she could be what we saw in Natalie Spooner this year, right?
Okay.
13th forward, come in, maybe get some power play time, maybe not because you have a lot of different options there. Maybe some PK.
Yeah.
But just not play a whole lot of minutes, but very selective with the moments she comes in. And I think if you're selective, she would be phenomenal.
Okay. I also do not have Brianne Jenner on my team. I understand the accolades. She's got the most goals in PWHL. I understand the 2022 Olympics. She had 14 points, 9 goals, which is an unbelievable stat line. But the regression here, this Olympics, she's playing top 6 minutes for a good chunk, especially when Poulin was out. I know she was on the third line when Poulin came back, but 3 points.
But to be fair, though, nobody got points on that team.
And that's why I'm changing it up completely.
Okay.
But I just think another 4 years from now, 38 years old, I don't need another. This team, the 2026 team only had one 38 or older player. That would already be. I know Poulin is kind of an exception because she'll be still a great player.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Jenner can keep up as much. I just think the pace will slow down too. I don't know. And it's also it's still hard to project and predict how these older players will do because the PWHL is so new. We've never seen many of these players transition from 32 to 36 to 38 years old, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to see how they keep up in the PWHL, and that could reflect. It also depends on World Championships year by year, but Here's a good question now that kind of came in mind later. So you have Jenner playing in the Olympics when she's 38 years old.
Yes.
She'll most likely be on the world championship teams for the next 3 years until the Olympics. How many more world championships does she have after the Olympics?
0.
And same with, so the Olympics are it.
Yeah.
Now the other question is Poulin.
Yeah.
How many?
After?
Yeah. She's 38.
2.
So you say 40 years old.
She's done.
Interesting.
Couldn't even be her last one at the Olympics.
Okay. Yeah.
Just for personal reasons.
Yeah. Because my thinking was the only reason why Poulin is coming back is because she wants to end with a gold. And I think play the world championships and then after that Olympics, she's just done. So that's why that really, the losing in the 2026 Olympics really sways me to having Poulin back because she'll have a spot if she wants it.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think Poulin's just a gamer. She's a competitor. I get she also has a family and a family life and wanting to, make that your main focus is also a big part of everyone's lives. But I think Poulin is so driven for hockey. If she wins gold, wouldn't surprise me at all if she retires in 2030 at 38 years old. But I could see her maybe sticking around for a year or two. Maybe it also comes down to where if she stays with Montreal, if they are still hunting for their first ever Walter Cup.
Yeah, that's also a good point. The other thing is like Laura Stacey won't be on the team. I'm assuming you don't have her on the team.
I almost put her on the team.
Okay.
I almost put her the only reason I had, actually funny enough, I had a line of Gardner, Poulin, and Stacey all together.
Yeah,
Because Laura Stacey won't be that old.
Right, but I don't see it. And how old will Stacey be by then? How old is she
Just
now?
checking
I don't even
right
have her on
now.
my snub stats. So.
She'd be 35.
She'll be 35.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good chance, but I don't see it. But, all right, I don't know how to segue. That was your third line there. I basically said
Veteran line.
your veteran line. Yeah, I've said my Gardner Tremblay is a blocky line, and then my Gosling Poulin is Serdachny line. I'll just run in my fourth line here.
Yeah.
Fourth line, this one, the last 4 players, because you have the fourth line of the 13 left, is super duper young players. That's what I'm a little scared about on my team.
Okay.
So I said Sarah Manis on my left wing, fourth line. Then we have another U18 player that just played, Kaylee Tiller, on my fourth line C, who actually was the number 1 center on that team over Tremblay, but I have her as my fourth line center. And then a little bit older than the other two is Jocelyn Amos, who is 21 years old right now. She will be 25.
Okay.
Want me to say my 13th?
I did look into Amos, but okay, let's hear your 13th.
My 13th is, I think this is the only stretch from the rosters that I've seen of other people doing this,
Yeah.
is Kaylin LaMarche.
Oh, I actually I had her on my roster.
Okay.
She'd probably be one of my first snubs.
Yeah. I thought about, I didn't have her on right at the bat. And
She's killing it this year.
I don't understand how she's had 0. I've never really known about her.
Yeah.
She's got the most goals and the most points in the entire NCAA D1.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the frick she's not played. I don't know what's going on, but
Hey,
how
I'm
is she
with
not
you.
playing?
I'm with you,
It's
yeah.
weird. It's weird to me on Quinnipiac. I put her as a 13th. I mean, I probably, quite honestly, she is a center. I could quite honestly put her as a center role. I don't understand why she's had 0. She didn't even play U18s, for goodness sakes. So
Yeah.
I don't know what this story, if there's a story behind it or if there's anything, I'm missing something. I have her as my 13th. I think she's got 42 goals in just 35 games. Her season just
she's
wrapped
insane.
up.
She's nominated for Forward of the Year in the.
Yeah.
I think it may also come down to we don't watch a lot of NCAA women's hockey, and if I'm thinking NCAA is so vast that maybe it comes down to which division you're playing in, the teams you play most often, right?
That's a good point.
I think about college basketball, and right now the team from Miami, Ohio, is undefeated, right?
Yeah.
March Madness is coming up,
Right.
and there's a good chance they don't even make the March Madness tournament, even though they haven't lost a game all year.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing here. Like, from my understanding, the vast landscape of it is like Ohio State, Wisconsin, and those Minnesota teams. They're all somehow in the same division, where I think Quinnipiac is not.
But Quinnipiac is a good team in men's hockey.
I know, that's what I just don't understand.
Yeah. Maybe we don't understand. Yeah.
Maybe we just don't.
Maybe we're
but
missing something.
they still play across regions. The playoffs are all like almost all these players are done now. Their NCAA season is pretty much over unless they make it to the NCAA, whatever they call it on the women's side. I don't know if it's Frozen Tundra still, but like all the regional seasons are pretty much over. There's only a couple gold medal or championship games left.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know if it comes down to, like, I don't know where Quinnipiac. Oh, that would have been a good thing to do, is just look up the power rankings from the NCAA of where these teams are.
Right now. You keep talking.
My guess is like Ohio State and Wisconsin are the top two, and then take your pick. Minnesota's up there, and then I don't know. But that's a good point. Is where.
All right.
Where are they ranked? Who they're playing? That is a good point. She could just be ripping it up.
Ohio State. Oh, God. 1 second. I'm getting ads. Ohio State, Minnesota, Quinnipiac, 4.
She's 4. Okay, so that I don't know.
Great team.
I don't know what's going on.
Great team.
Yeah, so she'll be making the Frozen 4 unless she gets knocked out in the 16 or the 8 round.
Yeah.
But I have her as my 13th. I give Sarah Manis. We talked about her already. Kaylee Tiller. Does she wear an A as well? Let me see here.
Listen, LaMarche has 42 goals. The only other Canadian to hit that number in the past 20 years was Darryl Watts.
Wow. Darryl Watts of Wisconsin. So, Sarah Fillier didn't do that? Or is Sarah Fillier Ohio State? Huh. Kaylee Tiller currently is playing in Burlington with actually Sarah Manis in the
Wow.
U22.
Oh, really?
Yep. She so I have her on a line with her teammate. So works out there. She is 18 years old, just like Manis. So she'll be 22 years old. She had 6 points, 2 goals in the U18s, and she's just ripping up Burlington. People like the stuff. A big thing that I did when I was making these rosters was just looking at player profiles from the U18s. I know it's 6 games. I think she's clearly she's more of a standout from the U18s. We'll see where she committed. She is committed to Connecticut as well for next year.
Okay.
So there you go.
UConn.
Yep.
All right. I'll go to my 4th line. Starting with my left winger and somebody who got snubbed from this year's roster. Fan of the show, Danielle Serdachny, is on my left side. Shout out Danielle Serdachny. I say fan of the show. She favorited one of our TikToks, Kel.
Yep. It's awesome, man.
That's awesome.
We're a
known.
players pod, just so you know.
Yes.
Just so I know.
Anyways, yeah, Danielle Serdachny, as you mentioned, golden goal in a world championship. And should she have made the team this year? After the tournament, you argue absolutely yes, because they needed a change in that offense. I think she sneaks in as a 4th liner here on my team. And you had her higher up in the line.
I do. I have her higher up, just experience. I think bunching the experienced players together maybe makes a good 2nd or 3rd line. I really think that Poulin line, now that I think about it, is probably my 2nd line, and the other line bumps down to the 3rd line. So I probably have Serdachny in the top 6, and I like the connection with her and Gosling are in the same line on Seattle. And then you move Serdachny over to the right wing and have Poulin as your center. I think that would be a pretty good 5-on-5 defensive-minded, offensive-minded kind of team.
All right. Down the middle, I have the greatest name on this team, striker Zablocki.
Okay.
And obviously you had her too. We already did quite the breakdown on her. A lot of upside. So I'm gonna put her on that 4th line. Obviously capability to move up or stay down. Probably move up though. And on the right side of Emily Clark, who we mentioned a little bit ago, will be maybe between the ages of 32 and 34 this upcoming in 2023. 2030, pardon me.
Yeah.
Still young, still the experience, but still not outrageously old where she'll be slow and dampen down the offense. Can play a probably PK, Obviously, probably not power play with the names I have on this team. But still, I think Emily Clark will be a perfect role on the fourth line.
Okay.
And finally, my extra, it's Rosalie Tremblay, who we already talked about. But the 17-year-old, oh my goodness, has a lot of upside. And I think it's also, bring her as the extra for the experience. But I think she'll be good enough to, if she does get inserted into the lineup, or even she's in the lineup, but if she gets some minutes on an actual line, I think she'll be fine. I think she can play the wing. I think she can play center.
Yeah.
She can do whatever you need to do. Maybe a bit of power play. She's skilled enough to do it, so.
Okay. The one thing I think about your lines here is you said Zablocki's your center.
Yeah.
I believe she plays left wing on her college team, Northeastern.
Okay, I'll do you one better.
She's been injured, though, so I could be wrong.
I'll do you one better.
Yeah.
Emily Clark down the middle.
Okay.
Zablocki on the left side.
Yeah.
Sardaki on the right.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, she's a second line left wing on Northeastern. So, there you go. But I don't mind that at all. Just I figured I'd let you know. But yeah, you can't go wrong with any of those players. We went different directions. You have a little bit older, more experienced, and I understand why, but I
don't think these players are going to be crazy old, though.
No.
This year,
they're still they're going to hold their own.
Yes, I think this year was different. I think there was everybody
You just think everything
seemed
went
to have
wrong.
be part of that narrative.
Okay.
I think everyone on this lineup won't be
not
crazy
every
old.
player, yeah.
Everyone's tenacious, and they'll be hungry for gold, especially after losing 4 years ago this year in Milan.
Yeah. Okay. I wish, the one thing I kind of wish I did, and we should have prepared this before, is just do an average age of a roster. We obviously know Canada's 2026 roster was 29 or was it 30, and USA was 27.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 31 for Canada.
Insane.
But you think 2 years isn't a big deal. I think it really is. There's 25 players. That comes down to, that's a big deal in my opinion. I'd be very curious what ours added up to. But I think still mine will be pretty, it would lower it for sure because I got not many 30-year-olds or older.
I think mine would just be lowered by a tad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I figured I wish I should. That's one thing I should have done. But I would be very curious what mine would stack up against USA's 27-year-old average from the 2026 roster. But I think one thing doing this exercise too is, yes, there's a lot of great young players out there. The only issue is we don't know what they're going to do in 4 years, which is hard. It's easier to do the PWHL players, the players that already played on the national team, because we kind of can see glimpses, and we've actually watched these players more than compared to these NCAA players. Mm-hmm. It's just, I think the one thing is man, USA has got some unbelievable players that this past year that are just going to get better in the next 4 years. And that's the one thing is this team, is my team, is your team going to compare? Is it going to step up? I think honestly, in 4 years from now, it really might come down to which goalie is going to stand on their head.
Obviously, Henriette Debian has been the starter of the past, starter of the present, and at 35 years old in 2030, will she be the starter of the future?
I believe that she won't be. I'm going to give the edge to Eve Gascon, who has played on the national team, has been on the rivalry series. She's 22 years old right now, so she'll be 26. I'm going to give the edge to her. I think the question for me more is who's going to be the backup. Is it going to be, I mean, it's not a big question. Is it going to be Debian? Is it going to be Osborne? It's going to be somebody coming out of left field. But I give it to Gascon. Who do you think?
Well, I think Henriette Debian still makes a good conversation. Like, she's still the best goalie in the world. I get it. She'll be 35 years old, and that's old. Don't get me wrong. But obviously we're going to see a drop off, but she's done it. She's done it for so long. And don't get me wrong. I think it's going to come down to how the next couple of world championships go. And you know what? We could see, like, very, very close in the future, a new goalie take over the net because of the recent results against Team USA. Maybe you but the thing is, it could go to Maschmeyer. That's the thing. Maschmeyer's still in the picture currently right now. And I think leading up to the Olympics, you go with who you've gone with in the past 2 years. You know what I mean? Who's been the front runner?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask you this question. Do you think Henriette Debian has lost the net after this Olympics and the loss.
Oh,
silver
no,
medal.
I don't think she's lost the net. I just think in 4 years from now, she probably might lose the net to someone. I like Dave. I think it's going to be a no-brainer that you have Dave on the roster. I think the experience and having an experienced goalie, and Kaylee Osborne was there too, but having somebody who's done it for so long might be able to help the younger goalies in Gasson and Osborne get through I think just having her there really helps with the experience. But I just think ultimately when it comes down to play and goaltending, I think 4 years from now, I just don't think she'll be I don't think she'll be the same. She might still be a really good goalie, but I think maybe the question is her regression going to be enough for her to lose the net?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Because we all know she's not going to be as good as what she
No.
She is either probably still, you could argue, the best goalie in the PWHL.
Second.
Maybe second best. She lost by one. They lost in overtime. I know they got whooped 5-0 in the prelim game, but right now she is still first or second best goalie in the world.
I would give her the favorite to be the starter.
Yeah, you'd bet starter.
I would give her the favor to be the starter in 2030.
Okay.
I think, as we just mentioned, still best goalie in the world.
Yeah.
4 years, maybe Aaron Frankel. Well, that's a different conversation for a different day. 4 years in the future, Eve Gasson will obviously be. I think it's between her and Eve Gasson, and I think in the Olympics, I think game one, you give it to Deban. As I just mentioned earlier in this conversation, I think it comes down to the World Championships leading up to it, who has the net, and I think it'll still be Debian's.
Okay. The other thing to think about too here is Desbiens was the starter in 2022, which means she would have been 27 years old. Gasson will be 26.
Okay.
So just thinking at age perspective as well, if you think about it that way, that's
Who's
another thing to
the
put it
other
on.
goalie though? That's the real question.
The third goalie?
No, in 2022.
Oh, it's
mentioned
Mashmeyer.
Debian had the net, but who is her competitor?
It was Mashmeyer.
Yeah.
I think it's probably I don't know exactly what the goaltending situation was 4 years from now, 4 years ago, but it was Mashmeyer, and I don't know who the third one is, but
All right.
I was Mashmeyer and Desbiens. That was a two-headed monster for the longest time. It's been like that for a while. I wonder what 2018 even looked like, but.
Oh, it's Kristen Campbell. Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's,
yeah.
I mean, there's really no, it's Mashmeyer or Debian. There's no, older elite option who they've had previously in maybe the 2018 Olympics.
Right. Desbiens played a game in the 2018 Olympics, fun fact.
Okay. Now, why won't it be Kaylee Osborne?
Projections, there's not much to say. I think we look at the one rivalry series game. They both got shelled pretty hard, and I just think I know Osborne's got more experience, but I'm gonna give it to Gascon and see.
All right.
And see what she does. That's my prediction. She's a little bit younger too. So
Okay, I'm sticking with Debian. I think 4 years, Debian will still have the net, and I think it's because in 2 years, I think Debian will still have the net.
Okay.
And I think those couple World Championships leading up to the Olympics will be a big factor, and Debian will still have the net because Gasson will be 24, Debian will be 33. That's still good enough. That's still
Debian will be
easily young
35.
enough. 30, yeah, but 35 in her Olympic year.
Oh.
I'm saying it's just
Oh,
hard.
you're saying in 2028?
It's just hard to give a new goalie the net for the Olympics
Yeah.
when you've had the same consistent starter to the 2 years prior.
Sure. That's fair. It's fair.
But if she loses it, it goes to Eve Gasson.
Yeah, I think so. I'm predicting that. My guess is she'll lose it.
Okay. Well, Cal,
Well,
let's do quickly. Captain, we already named 2 assistants. We'll do 2 assistants.
okay.
And mine's easy. It's, actually mine's hard. We're only going 2 assistants?
Yeah. Same
Okay.
as
I wanted to go someone younger, but it's going to be Poulin, it's going to be Jenner, it's going to be Renata Fast. For me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you have Jenner on your team.
Yeah, you have to give her an A.
Sure.
You have to.
Sure. My 3 is Poulin will be the captain. I'll go Fast an A, and then I'll go I go Daryl Watts with the other A.
Wow.
Daryl Watts was the best player in the team this year. I'm gonna give her an A.
Not Fillier?
No, I think didn't Watts have more points?
Okay, but still. I'm arguing not giving the A to Fillier instead of...
Yeah, I'd go Watts
Okay.
over Fillier. I think just production-wise, I don't know what they do in the locker room.
Okay, I'm actually stripping the A from Jenner, and I'm giving it to Sarah Fillier.
Just because I didn't.
No, I think it's because I was just thinking about it, and I was like, listen, if you have 3 players who are over the age of, 35 years old, there's no representation of anybody kind of younger. I want someone to have that. I think Sarah Fillier would have that A.
It's totally fair. I just, let's see here. 6, yeah. Watts was by far the better. She had 2 more extra points, but I think Watts was still more dynamic in the 2026 Olympics. I think they're both big threats, obviously on the same line, but I'm going to give Watts the edge. So.
Okay.
But you know what? Philly's having a down year at the Sirens.
This is 4 years in the future.
Yeah, I know. Philly's having
I think Fillier will be the better player.
Yeah, arguably, yeah. Fillier is also a center too. That could help.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And the issue with the only thing I don't really like about doing this is that we really do not know what they're doing. We don't know who's got the voices in the locker room. We obviously know Poulin does, and
Yeah.
I'm assuming Jenner and Fast are probably the next 2 biggest ones because they got the A's.
Probably.
But they also are at least Fast is the best defenseman, and Poulin. Yeah. So, do you want to hear one last fun fact?
Yes, I do.
You want to hear one last fun fact?
I do.
Goaltender-wise is Hannah Murphy, who I had as a snub,
Yeah.
wore the C in her second year of university
Wow.
as a goalie. Fun fact.
Roberto Luongo
Yep.
type action, who was an Olympian.
Yeah, exactly. So
Hint, hint.
maybe she could wear the C. If she made the team, I maybe would give her the C just because not many goalies wear the C.
All right, sure.
Let's wrap her up.
All right, sure. All
Run
right,
down
final
your-
thoughts
run
on
down your
today's
forward core
All right,
one
my
last
forward
time.
core: Daryl Watts, Sarah Fillier, Caitlin Kramer, Julia Gossling, Mary-Philip Poulin, Sarah Manis, Jen Garner, Emma Malte, Brianne Jenner, Striker Zablonki, Emily Clark, Danielle Serdachny, and Rosalie Tremblay.
Mine is Daryl Watts, Caitlin Kramer, Sarah Fillier, Jen Gardner, Rosalie Tremblay, Striker Zablocki, Julia Gossling, Mary-Philip Poulin, Daniel Serdachny, Sarah Manis, Kaylee Tiller, Jocelyn Amos, Kaylin Lamarche. So, young.
That bottom 6 is young.
Yeah, maybe they're the top 6. Give the bottom 6 to the other.
Maybe. All right, Kel, final thoughts on today's episode before we wrap it up.
We're gonna be in deep, man. It's gonna be fascinating what the team's gonna look like in 4 years, and I think this is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to look at all these NCAA pages. I'm excited to do the men's side where I can look at HockeyDB, thankfully. I really do wish this is bad. This is my final thought. We need to overhaul Elite Prospects, or we need to make a new web page that can rival Elite Prospects because that website sucks.
Okay.
And hockey wise, I think USA probably is going to be a heavy favorite come 2030.
Okay. Agreed. No, I don't agree about Elite Prospects, though. It's a great website. So if anybody at Elite Prospects is watching this, I will never slander your website. The only thing bad about the website is it makes my computer lag a lot.
Well, that's it. Well,
All the ads. But other than that, all the information on the website is phenomenal. Okay? In my
no.
opinion.
I 100% agree. All the information on the website's great. I don't pay for premium. I do have an ad blocker, so the ads aren't there. But the issue is that the stats aren't as accessible. You have to scroll down so much.
No.
You have to scroll down so much where Elite Prospects, you type in the name, and if he's the only player ever to have that name, boom, it's right to the page. Where first of all, Elite Prospects is you type in the name, and like the issue is that when you look up like even Chloe Primarano or Caitlin Kramer, who are the best young players in the NCAA for Canada, I have to look up the entire name, and scroll down through a gazillion players to find them, even though I have the exact same name. So their search database sucks.
No.
And you have to scroll a gazillion pages down to find their frickin' stupid stats.
First world problems.
It is a first world problem, and I know I'm a big web design guy. That needs some work. But Shout out HockeyDB. I don't know who does that, and I know it's like it takes up zero, like it takes up nothing on your computer. Shout out HockeyDB. So,
All right.
but yeah, that's my final thought. All right, let's wrap her up.
Yeah, I don't have any final thoughts.
Yeah.
I think I displayed all my thoughts on the podcast today
I think so
with the
too.
team.
Sometimes final thoughts are hard because I've said everything and I just
Yeah.
don't really have enough mojo to recap everything I've said again.
Yeah, I think my team is still has the fun of the old, but also the exciting of the new.
Sure.
And we're winning gold. So that's fun.
Complete. Yeah. If I were to say my roster in one sentence, it's overhaul and find the fun in the young. So there we go.
Okay.
It's a very weird motto or whatever.
That's
but
okay. All right. That will do it for today's episode of the True North Ice Podcast. Remember, you can check us out on social media. We're uploading daily short form content with everything you need to know about everything Hockey Canada and everything Canadian hockey related on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. That is at True North Ice. And as always, the True North Ice Podcast available on all your favorite podcast platforms, including Caleb.
We've got Pocket Cast, we got Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
YouTube.
and YouTube video form, and YouTube Music. So that's fun. iHeartRadio, and a lot more.
Great. All right. As always, we'll catch you very soon. For Jacob Ewing and Caleb Snyder, signing off, thank you for watching the True North Ice Podcast.